So you purchased a Craftsman T-Series from Lowe's. I have a T210 myself, but the controls are more or less the same for any of the current T-Series, 2020 to present, including the T2200 through T4400, and even some MTD-made mowers that are similar to these, like the Cub Cadet X T-Series, maybe even some Troy built. How to tell if your mower is MTD-made? Lift up the seat and look for a sticker just like this. I figured this one out long ago. Now I'm someone that reads instructions front to back before I use an item, but I have had many commenters tell me, hey, these won't mow in reverse. Yes, they will. You can also get off this mower without it running, without having to make modifications. There's a process. Let me show you how this works in its most basic form, starting with a mower orientation. Let's climb on board and take a look at where everything is and how it works. So from the seated position, the first thing front and center, there's the steering wheel. If you don't know how that works, you probably don't need to be using a mower. To the right of that, the keyed ignition switch. Works just like a car. On the left side, this is the choke lever. Mine has a slider, some have a dial, but it's all the same basic function. On the floorboard, left side operated with your foot, that's the brake. Front and center down below the dash, that's a dual function lever. It functions as both the cruise control, which I don't use, and the parking brake. And as a parking brake, it works in conjunction with that brake lever down at our foot there. The left side, we press it all the way in and then press it down on the lever, hold it as we release with the foot, and voila, parking brake. Floorboard right side, this is basically the gas pedal to go, but it's a pivot rocking back and forth. That is forward, but if we press down in this direction, that's reverse. A rocker, back and forth, forward and reverse. Very simple. So let me show you how I start this. I'm going to go back to that choke lever and slide it up, but you're going to notice there's a notch. That's max run speed, but all the way up is choke. We want it on choke. I'm going to put my foot all the way down on the left lever. I'm going to use the ignition switch to start the mower and then immediately move it off choke. And the mower is running. It's just like starting a car, except you have a manual choke. You need to engage yourself. If your mower is equipped with this run meter down below the steering wheel, some don't have it, some do. They only work when the mower is turned on or running in this case. You can see the hourglass going. It's keeping up with the run time. It also keeps up with when air filters need to be changed, when the oil needs to be changed, and so on. With the mower running, this ignition switch does something else. It's in the on or run position, but we can go back a notch. Not to the off, but back one notch and press that yellow button, and look at that. Saw that red light light up. That's the mow in reverse function, and we need to engage the blades before we do that. We'll get to that in just a second. First, we've seen all the controls up here. Just want to mention on the left side, there's a phone holder that doesn't fit a modern iPhone, a cup holder that fits quite a few sized beverages, but on the right, our other two controls. Before we turn the blades on with those, I want to mention, per instructions, if you're not cutting, if your mower is just idling, you're supposed to go down to the turtle or the slow RPM setting. But if you're gonna cut the grass, you're supposed to go up to the max RPM setting. That's up to that notch, not to the choke, but up to the rabbit. It'll settle into a notch there. It's not the choke, it's the rabbit. And then I'm gonna press all the way down with my left foot, and I'm going to use the outside lever to press forward, and slightly to the left it'll settle into a spot, and you can see the blades are fully engaged. The mower is cutting. So the outside lever turns on or turns off the blades. The inside lever sets the cutting height. Now personally, I always keep it in 3. That's just where I cut. There are 12 positions available. You get to choose your own height. Now let me disengage the brake, but you want to notice here, I'm on flat ground. I took the brake off. The mower didn't move. It shouldn't move on flat ground. If I press the brake forward, it brakes. If I let off, no brakes. But on flat ground, it should not move. Let's address one of the two key areas people seem to get confused. I have the brake on, the blades are engaged. If I were to get off right now, it would go dead. But there is a way to get off this mower with it running, and let me show you how it works. So I'm just back in base cut configuration. So let's say I've just came to a stop. First thing I want to do is raise my deck height up and then disengage the blades. I found you want that deck height up. Anytime you disengage the blades, less chance to throw a belt. Now I'm going to go back and re-engage that parking brake, just like we've seen a couple of times now. It's a very basic process, all the way down with the left foot, down on the lever, and then let off with the left foot. And I want to get off here to see something. Look at this. I'm off the mower and the engine is clearly running. Well, how can that be? Well, it can be because this is the way it's designed to work. Now, it doesn't work with the blades engaged, but with the blades off and the brake on. You have to have the parking brake on. That overrides a safety switch and allows you to get off of a running mower without the blades engaged. Now, just to show you, See, if I do the brake off, I engage that parking brake, the motor goes dead. The safety switch kicks in. Let me re-engage it here. Then we're just going to start the mower again. You'll see it'll fire right up, and then I can get right off. I can even crank it without being on the seat. And that's how it works. You can have this mower running and get off to pick up a stick, move whatever, and then get back on it with it running. All basic functions. So let's go over all this from start to finish so we can see. Starting from a not running mower, step 1, left foot all the way down. Brake engaged. Step 2, turn on the choke. Step 3, use it just like a car, crank it, turn it over. It will start, then we move our choke down to max run speed. Next to cutting operations. Now we're not going to adjust the deck height just yet. First we're going to engage the blades. Using that lever, my left foot is still down. Lever all the way forward, blades turn on. At this point I can let my left foot off the brake. Now it's not going to move because I'm on flat ground, but the engine is running, the blades are on. This mower is ready to cut. We just need to go forward and back, which I can do on the right side with what I call the gas pedal. Remember, it's a rocker, forward and back, but you'll see here, I'm going forward, but if I try to go back, just listen. If you caught that drop in sound, that's the blades turning off because we don't have mow in reverse engage. Remember, I said to move it back one slot and press that button. Now let's try to mow in reverse. I'm going to press down on the back side of that rocker, and look at that. We're cutting in reverse. Forward, back, it doesn't matter because mow in reverse is enabled, and that's what this mower does. It's in the instructions. I'm really shocked that this many people haven't picked up on that, but I guess if you've never seen it before, I just know from many mowers that I've seen over the years how this works. That red light has to be on. Now if the red light goes off, it will quit mowing in reverse. And I've noticed I can bump it accidentally with my knee. You see there I've mimicked it and the light goes off. Well, if I try to mow in reverse again, it tries to go dead again. I have to re-engage it. But once it's on, unless something bumps it or turns it off, mow in reverse will be enabled until the blades are turned off or the mower itself is turned off. Let me briefly show you how the braking works. So I'm going to move forward here. Actually, I'm going to stop here. And I'm going to go over and show you again that this is the brake lever, but let me move forward, then I'm going to stop it with the brake lever. And actually, this is bad planning because I'm on flat ground here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive over to a slight slope in my yard. And we'll see as I'm going down the hill, I can let off the brake and the mower will keep moving until I press the brake. Okay, so I'm on this little slope here. I'm moving forward. I'm going to let off the gas. You can see that the mower is still barely moving, but if I press in on the brake, well, it's a brake. It stops the mower. And if I let off again, you can see it creeps forward just a little bit. The brake stops it. Now I want to talk about one other thing here. You have the brake on the left, and on the right you have the gas pedal. This is a hydrostatic transmission. And to control it, you have that rocker, what I call the gas pedal, on the right side. And you can use that a couple of ways. You can put your foot on it and kind of heel toe it and just rock back and forth, or you can use it as two separate pedals, which is what I do. I think that's a little easier on the transmission. I'm a big fan of the hydrostatic transmission. Now, one last thing I want to show you about this mower, and this, as far as I know, is specific to Craftsman T-Series, and that's the turn type. I'm going to go all the way with the wheel here. I want you to notice just how tight this turn radius is. Look at that. That is a 5-inch turn radius, and it's measured from the front of the back wheel, kind of the pivot point. It's impressive, and what for me set the Craftsman apart. And that, my friends, is how you use everything on a Craftsman T-Series. T210 up to the T2200, T2200K, T4400, anything in the middle, and some MTD made similar 2020 to present riding mowers. Did this help you out? Do you still have questions? Comment below, subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching.